Wake up with the sun in a steaming cup. Tune into the show where the vibes heat up. The Morning Mac got the flavor, got the glow. Start it right, let your energy flow. High takes rising like the morning brew. Fresh ideas and a laugh or two. From the first headline to your daily dose. This is the show where your spirit goes. Oh, it's the Morning Mac, where the time don't lag. Get your inspiration packed in a casual swag. Sip it slow, feel the rhythm hit your toes. Welcome to the place where the good vibes grow. Dreams alive. The Mac got the groove, keeping you in stride. No snooze, just choose to wake up bold. This is your hour, let your story unfold. New ideas with the sunrise spark. Fuel for your fire when the world feels dark. Spinning the tracks of your mental glow. Every listen's a hit on the Morning Mac Show. Oh, it's the Morning Mac, where the time don't lag. Get your inspiration packed in a casual swag. Welcome to the place where the good vibes grow. New ideas with a sunrise spark. Fuel for your fire when the world feels dark. We're spinning the tracks of your mental glow. Every listen's a hit on the Morning Mac Show. Oh, it's the Morning Mac, where the time don't lag. Get your inspiration packed in a casual swag. Sip it slow, feel the rhythm hit your toes. Welcome to the place where the good vibes grow. Your toes. Welcome to the place where the good vibes grow. Roll out of bed, bring your dreams alive. The Mac got the groove, keeping you in stride. No snooze, just choose to wake up bold. This is your hour, let your story unfold.
And we back. What up, family? What up, Uncle E? What up, Diggy? I see y'all in the comments. Who else we got in here? If you in here, please like, please share, please subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, put something in the comments just to say what up. Let me know you're here. Give some people some time to get in here. I got you, Unc. I definitely make sure I got you, man. Make sure y'all put some prayers out for my girl Riri. Overnight, you know, she's still at the hospital. I see her in the comments right now. She on YouTube. Okay, Reese watching on YouTube. You know the family on Facebook, girl. You need to pop in on Facebook. But have it work. Have it work for you, Riri. What up? How you feeling? Let us know how you feeling in the comments. What up, Miss Val? She over there with an angel. Miss Val, good people. She over there making sure our girl Riri is good, making sure she taking care of herself. Well, they taking care of each other, but Miss Val is definitely listening there. So if y'all in the comments, just say hey to Miss Val. She first time listening to the Morning Max show. I got you on. I see you, Diggy, man. I'm gonna see where everybody else at first before I start sending them out. I see my girl just
Wake
popped
up with
up
the
in
sun in
here.
a steaming cup. Tune into the show where the vibes heat up.
What
The
up,
morning man
Dad?
got the flavor, got the glow. Started right, let your energy flow.
What? How you get a day off? You got some time today?
Right? Yeah, I was supposed to have surgery yesterday, so I had the 2 days off, but then I go in for surgery, they stabbed me in the arm, gave me some of the anesthesia and go, "Oh, you're 5 days early." So, I just got an off day. So,
5 days early. God dang, they just out here poking people too early, huh?
yeah, a little bit. It happens.
Yeah, our girl in the hospital said, bless, I got good news. Okay, that's why I like to hear
Yeah.
good news, Riri.
Whoop whoop.
When you're coming home, Diggy said, hey, Miss Val. Said, hey, Destiny. Yeah, Destiny's in the house, y'all. Surprise, surprise today. You know my boy Trey Money will be here in a second. Trey had to make some runs. I made that same run he making as well. So I ain't wasting no time, bro. Weezy, I just sent you the link. I sent it to Funny Man. I already sent it to Beast. I hope I ain't forget nobody. You know. If it is, it ain't Reese's fault this turnaround. How you feeling today, though? You got any crazy news? What been going on your end, Destiny? Or what been going on in the world that disturbs you?
Okay, well, hold on. I'd rather talk about me at the moment than the world because the world is going through some shit. But me, on the other hand, I don't know if y'all saw on Facebook. So Halloween, I was Chun-Li from Street Fighter. It was pretty fun. Overall successful throw together of Goodwill clothes. And the night of Halloween, there was a comedian roast battle in Pensacola, Florida, and I won.
I seen you on there with the belt, and I said, what Destiny? I'm gonna put it up for the people see what you talking about.
Yeah.
You
That
get a
belt
belt.
is huge.
I see. So you the champ right now. So when you gotta go back and would you put your belt on the line again, or is a new belt every year?
Nope, I put the belt on the line because that is a very pricey belt. He's gonna like stamp my name on the back. Yeah, this me the back. But
someone lost the cigarettes.
yeah, I guess that was a cute little couple's costume they did or something. I think they're a thing, but yeah, no, that was fun. She had to like lift her box up to get into the area to do the roast. That was the previous champ. I think that was right after I told him he looks like he shaved his nipples for this outfit.
Oh my goodness. Who was he? Like he a fighter or something?
Yeah, I'm guessing he was just going plain Jane fighter. I doubt he would have said he was Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, like he ain't come to win that day. Of course you
Nah, he was sitting there like, yeah, I've got all these roasts put together, and then I'm pretty sure he threw the Destiny's a redneck, and then just stopped right there, and I was like, okay, all right, let's try that again. You got something better?
The champ.
Yeah,
like
there's DQ.
Look at Destiny got her little balls hanging off her head.
Oh yeah, gotta let the balls hang. Along
Diggy
with my other 10.
He said, of course you won. You're a badass.
Thank you.
Definitely probably up to the judges, man.
Yeah, that was the guy that I was going up against for the win.
Oh man,
I've got the belt. The thing is like huge. When we went to go eat afterwards, we went to this cute little like German place or something. It was very like old fashioned. I'm sitting there trying to hit my vape under the table. I gotta move my 2 bras out of the way so I could get down there. I couldn't do it.
That's funny. Look like y'all had a good time though.
Yeah, it was a great time. If anybody that's watching is ever in the Pensacola area before a roast, like the next one is I believe November 28th. That's the one where I will be defending my title. If anybody is ever out there during a Pensacola roast battle, that is so fun. And all of us, like, we'll say some mean shit and then we'll get off stage and be like, you know, I like you, right? I swear I like you.
Oh, that's good. That's good energy. We do some here with the belt, but we do like a rap thing, like the artist, the one who had the best performance. So the belt been everywhere too. It been from LA to Atlanta, South Carolina. It been everywhere. But you always got to bring it back out to defend that title. It'd be funny when people lose it because they'd do anything to get it back. So yeah, that's gonna be good. Who that? Who that?
Rising like the morning brew.
Who you think is popping in, y'all? Yeah.
From the first headline to your daily dose. This is the show where your spirit goes. Oh, it's the morning black.
Trey Money. What it do, Trey?
What's up, Slim? What's up, Destiny? Hey. What's up? What's good?
They were just asking about you. We lost about 10
my phone wasn't power up for some reason.
Yeah, we lost about 10 to 20 viewers. They said Trey not on the day we out.
Ain't nobody say that shit. I'll still check the comments though, see who in here. What's up, Damien? What's up, Ree? What's up, E?
Yeah,
Ree. E said send the link. I don't know if you've seen that already.
Yeah, I seen him and Dickie said send a link. I was waiting to see who all get in first.
That's what's up. What's up? What's up?
Pop in. It's 20 of us in this motherfucker. But
what's up, Miss Val? I ain't forget about you either.
Miss Val watching. Yeah.
I ain't forget about you. I don't know why my phone wouldn't power up. What y'all talking about so far? What y'all talking about?
I'm awesome.
And her experience, she went over there and won the belt, the champ. They had a costume roast battle, and she won. I'm just showing her pictures and stuff from the event.
Oh, that's what's up.
They let me hold on to the belt. I get to hold on to it until someone wins it from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not showing y'all what my house looks like because it is no bueno. But I can take this outside and show this off.
Don't worry about it. I ain't trying to pan the camera around my shit either right now. Don't worry about it. It ain't even about that. It's the belt we worry about.
You just want to see the belt, champ.
How do I flip my camera?
You gotta do all this extra stuff. You gotta go to camera, settings, and then it say flip camera. You gotta go to settings.
Whoever's in the comment section so far, I know I didn't see that notification on the morning show page on my phone.
Yeah,
yeah. Flip the belt.
Flip the camera sideways.
The champ is here.
That is a big ass belt.
The champ is here.
Pensacola, the Talk to the Moon roast battle champion.
Oh yeah.
Let us find out that belt for something else.
That is a hardy.
You shared some pictures wearing it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna look.
Yeah, she shared some.
I'm gonna just keep it on. I'm thinking about doing a video because like it's nice if like the roast champ. Oh shit.
That's how girl She's still blowing, y'all.
Still blowing, gagging.
She good,
no
y'all.
Gag, I meant, my bad.
But she hanging in there strong. Prayers up for Reese, y'all. Put some prayers in the comments, man, for our girl. But she back moving.
Hey, Miss Valerie tapped in. What's up, Miss Valerie?
I see it. There you go.
Hey.
Subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe
become
button.
Become one with us. What's up?
Yeah, she said I can't hear y'all from all the way over there. Let me.
Yeah, she said, "No, I need to get on my own." That's fine. Tap in.
Hey, I respect that.
It's gonna be a good one today.
Oh, it definitely is. I sent Weezy the link, so I'll give her a little time to get in here.
That's
I sent Funny Man the link.
Dude, Destiny got in here before me because I was gonna send you the link when I got on. I was at home for like 20 minutes and my phone would not power up for nothing. But
Molly was on top of that when I sent in the group chat that I want to be there. He's like, "Oh, boop."
Oh yeah, we looking for that anyway. Anybody say they want to jump on? You know?
Yeah. Well, we can
So
get
that's what's up.
started till Weezy get in here. I got a couple of clips, little things we can share. And Trey, you got something you want to share? Just put in the private chat.
I got
Same
you
thing
on
for
that.
you, Destiny, and we can talk on it. This was
Keep doing
old
that.
clip I seen before. It was a father having a conversation with his son, and basically he just was asking his father, who come first, who you love the most, who more important, me or your wife. I'm guessing this his wife is probably not his mom, but even if it's his mom, he felt like he should come first, and his father explaining why he put moms first, and I'm gonna share the clip with y'all and y'all give y'all thoughts, or if y'all want to speak a little bit on it now, we can do that before I share the clip. Whichever best for y'all.
Yeah, shit. I like the dialogue first before we watch
Oh,
whatever is coming from them or however they
okay.
deliver it.
Yeah. So how you feel about it, Trey?
I mean, shit. Like, I don't know. That's a thing. For some reason, I don't know if it's in every community. I know it tends to be in mine. I know I've like visually seen it myself. Um, that whole my son is my king and all that shit. No, he not. He a prince. You gotta be a prince or a princess before you get to a queen or king. Ain't that he's your child is not your savior. Your child is not the man of the house. Bitch, he's probably 8 years old, and you trying to coach him to tell you that he the man of the house and all that shit. Like this shit is weird to me. Like this
Mm-hmm.
shit is turning over to some. Yeah, all right, okay, it's turning kind of, that p word, because after a
Mm-hmm.
while it's like you start to situations where like moms are like pretty much battling or have a problem with any woman that comes into the son's life. Like you like are get you a man, get a man because he's supposed to fulfill certain things that your son is not supposed to do. Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, the power dynamic is messed up because you're looking for your son to do some shit that your man's supposed to be doing or your husband. For real. It's my opinion.
Nah, you made some good ones, man. How you
Mhm.
feel about it, Destiny? Or you want to share
Um.
The champion.
Well.
Hey.
the
Oh. Well. Okay. So if all right. So if I only have one kid, so like it's easier for me. But whenever there are multiple kids, in the situation that you're talking about in this video, where the kid goes up and says, "Who's your favorite? Which one?" Da 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 da. Um. My mother used to say the same thing. I love you all equally. I love you all equally. I love you all equally. Just like completely go right past that. And I think that's the most like neutral way to put that. Although my mother did also have the man that she had all of these kids with in her life. So we didn't have to deal with whether or not a man could be seen over the kids that she made. I did at one point in my life, my father, y'all have heard me talk about him before. He's not the most grand individual at all. And at one point, my father looked at me and said, "I didn't choose you. I chose your mother, and y'all just popped up at some point." And that doesn't feel good to hear.
God damn.
Um,
He said that don't feel good.
That's cold. That's cold.
Damn.
yeah.
That's tough.
So, so I don't think it's right to act like in a family where you're all supposed to love each other. I don't think it's necessarily fair to act like anybody could get more or less love depending on who's around. I have my one daughter, right, and I am legally concerned a single mother. But I do date, and regardless, in fact, I've been in this relationship for almost a year already. That's crazy work. But this individual knows that I care about my daughter more than I care about myself. She is to be taken care of. If I get spoilage, that's great. If I'm getting food brought to me, did you get something for my daughter? Consider
Yes.
my child as important as I am, if not more than I am. Otherwise, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what psychologically in a like adult, what
Yeah.
reason an adult would want to weaponize their position, like of importance. I'm trying to figure out like psychologically where someone's mindset would be to even try to
Well,
make a child decide, you know?
more often than I would like to admit, I've heard far too many women talk about growing up. Their mom was a single mom, their mom dated around, and their mom dated some bad guys. And whenever the girl goes to talk to her mom about, hey, your boyfriend or your new husband is like hurting me, the mother would say, no, he's not, and then just completely ignore what the child is saying because this man is over here. There was one girl that said that her mother told her to get over it because that man provides for them.
God damn.
At no point should, respectfully to all men out there, at no point, and this is turned around as well. If a woman is abusing her stepkids, it's the same fucking thing. At no point should somebody that has entered your life out of nowhere or whatever be more so damn important that you're allowing them to hurt your family. You're allowing them to hurt the people that you helped make.
Yeah.
Those are your creations. You want to take pride in that, not say, yeah, whoever can toss it around like a damn dog toy.
Yeah. Molly, how do you feel about that being like weaponized the way it is? Like,
I mean, I don't think it's weaponized. I just think that, you know, it depends on how people hear and respond to it. You know, I love the conversations though, and depends on the situation. You know, I just think that if somebody loved their wife more than they actually love their kids, I think that's when they get into that wrong conversation because you love them both. It ain't really no more or less, but with kids, it's unconditional love, and that's what the guy gonna talk about to his child in the video. Explaining to his child why he loved his mom more than him. He said, because when you grow up and you find your wife and your family, I'm still with your mom. I gotta choose to love. I chose to love your mom with you. It wasn't no choice. I love you unconditionally. I die for you. I do, you know, like, but with your mom, I choose to stay here with her. She chooses to stay here with me. You know, we choose to be in a relationship. So he said, I feel like, you know, I love her more. You know, that's just, and some people believe in it biblical, but I just think that when people had these conversations, when they hear someone loves somebody more, that means they don't love the other person. Like,
right.
and they don't mean that, but people hears that and they just assume that, and then they go down that road, you know, because now that means he doesn't love the child. That means he doesn't feed the child. That means he doesn't, like, nah, but it is cases like that. But when having these conversations, those topics come up when the only thing is, why do he choose to love mom more than the child? That didn't say I don't love the child, I don't care for the child, I'm gonna mistreat the child. He loved them both. He just saying why. And I think in the video he broke it down a little better than I ever heard parents break it down. When I was young, I always wanted to understand that because in the Bible it said put your wife or your husband first, your spouse first, because you can always remake a kid, but you can't remake your spouse, you know. So if you with a partner, y'all create as many kids you want, but if your partner died, you can't recreate her or him, wherever it go. But I'm gonna share the clip and we're gonna talk a little more about it and give our thoughts on it. But I thought it was a good conversation to bring.
What's up, Slicky?
Hey, Slicky Boo Boo.
What, Slicky Boo in here? What
yeah,
up?
He in here. He said, "Hey y'all." This comment just popped up. I'm gonna get on your comment to Damien after the video.
Who's more important, my children or my wife? My wife is more important than you.
I don't even want to continue this conversation.
I love you unconditionally. I don't love mom unconditionally. I choose to love mom. So it's standard. What we have is standard. That's why I need you to don't sometimes lead with emotion. Breathe and listen to what I'm saying, or listen, or don't just jump. Don't be reactive and jump to the narrative.
Nah, mum ain't more important than your children, man.
She's more important because you know when you move out and you find love, it's your mum that's gonna wipe my ass when I'm old. It's your mum that's gonna grow old with me.
I think mum's got you in a headlock.
What?
I think mum's got you in a headlock recently.
Ask the comments.
I don't know what's going on.
Ask the comment.
But she's got a headlock and she's scratching it right now. No. What do you mean? Alright, cool. So let's switch the question then. Who would you save? Me or mum?
That's different. I'm gonna save you because your mum's already lived. That's different. You're my child. That's a whole different. This is why I try to say to you, take emotion out of it, because it's not about when you hear the word important, right? You automatically jump to love, hierarchy. No. Listen to the words I use.
So what does important mean?
Unconditionally, I love you.
So what does important mean to you?
Important means to me my whole lifespan, the longevity, what it looks like. You're always gonna be in my life. I'm always gonna be your dad. You're always gonna be my son. So I don't need to think about the level of importance with us. But for in my life, for me, for personally, for your dad, your mom is the most important because she's the one that's gonna grow old with me.
That's a bomb ass video. Solid.
Yeah.
Solid ass video.
He had great reasoning, great explanation, and I love that
It
he
was
kept
clear.
saying, "Take the love. You got to take the emotion out of it. You got to listen to the words, understand the fact of the matter, rather than putting your heart into it."
Mm-hmm. Dang. Okay, Slicky in here, Diggy. So now at the hand, because I was saying love, he was saying importance, but
Yeah.
you still get the message where he was having. It was a conversation he was having with his son, because his son felt like they should be more important than mom, because of the kids. So he jumped to the conclusion. So who would you save first? Mom will want you to save the kids first, and vice versa. I don't
Right.
want you
He
to save
said,
me. Like, you
"Yeah."
already lived my life. I live longer than you. I'm
He,
gonna give you a chance. I respect that.
yep. He said, "I would save you because your mother has already lived." And in all honesty, he said that, and I hear that, but nobody at any point knows what they would do in that situation unless that situation occurred. And I'm not a very religious person, but I would pray that none of the people that I love ever have to go through a situation like that. It's just like saying, "I'd take a bullet for you," but then a bullet is right there. Are you going to jump in front of that bullet for this person over here? Would you die for this
Yeah,
person
if
over
you had
here?
a
Right.
You
choice,
don't
would
know
it be
unless
your
it's
kid
happening.
or but if it was your kid or spouse, which one would you choose? That's what he's saying. If you didn't have a choice and you knew this was happening, which one would you choose? Now I know just dudes just say, "Hey, yeah, I take a bullet for you." Yeah, that's just talk. But if you was in a situation, you had to pick between your child and your spouse. He's saying, "I'm gonna choose you every time because you my kid." Whatever the scenario is. I just think moms and dads, parents, they love unconditionally. Like, it's people out here that committed crimes and they mother go to court and support them. That's still their child. That's still my child. I love them. They believe anything they say. I don't think he would do that because they love unconditionally. Because that's your child. So when it comes to that, I just think that's easy for any parent. And I ain't just saying human nature, animal nature. These parents would die for their kids. These moms would die for their kids. I don't think any kid, should risk their life for their parents, or any parents should risk their kids' life for their spouse. Like, that's just selfish to me.
I feel you.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah. I mean, I think the kid. Well, it's probably an age thing, but I would think from the outside that he needs to have more deeper conversations with his dad. You know, like his dad seemed like a real solid person. Like, it's clear and the way he said everything, laid it out, knew what he meant the first time. Like, I feel like his dad probably career driven, probably busy or whatever. I just feel like it's certain things that the kid is lacking to need to ask some questions, to ask the
Mhm.
way he asked it, because it was doubt. Like, and I get that you want to ask that
Yeah.
whether you're an adult or a kid, but the way he was asking, like, it seemed like he's lacking in something. Like he's not, I feel like he's not getting from his dad, or a conversation just needs to be had. So certain things can be understood. Maybe he felt traded up or something like that or something. But something, I feel like, put him in that mindset to want to act that way.
Yeah,
I
that
never.
that felt like a situation where maybe he's already asked his mother, and his mother said, "You baby." So he was expecting his dad to say something similar, but his mother is the maternal side, very likely,
Mhm.
with the monotone of that man. That mother is the maternal side,
Yeah, because he seemed
and
like he's not with the shit. He is
to the
not
point.
with too much,
Mhm.
crying about nothing. It was, but it wasn't. It wasn't. The thing is, but it wasn't insensitive. It was balanced. Like it was just a solid. Some people, when they say something the first time, I know whatever I talk to them about in the future is going to be on point. It doesn't matter what kind of conversation. It's just going to be
Mhm.
real. It's gonna. So I got that from the dad. Like, I feel like the dad is real. I feel like mom probably might even have to work type shit. It really seemed like that type of setup. Like your family dynamic is solid like that. But for him to ask, it's certain things that he feel like he's missing. I feel like because I don't
Yeah,
know. I mean, I
I
never
feel
really
like
felt like I had
that's
to
a
ask
good.
that.
Yeah, I
You
think
know?
that's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
Even if your
actually.
child don't believe you, like even if he don't believe dad, he basically saying, "Dad, you love me more than you love mom." So it's like he just telling him, "No, I don't." So it's like he don't believe that. Even if he don't believe him, he just letting you know that's how much his father love him. That's how much his
Yeah.
father's in his life that he can't believe that his father will even put his mom over them. He like, I
Yeah.
see the love. You show us too much love. I know, but it don't seem believable to him. And for moms, I believe with Destiny, he probably asked mom, and mom was like, "You first, easy." And so he just like trying to get it out of dad, like you just saying that. I don't believe you. You love us more than you actually love mom, because mom
Well,
loved us more than she loved dad. Easy.
there's also a difference that comes with the fact that women, we make the child. Like the baby is within us for at least or around hopefully 9 months, and we get to feel the heartbeat, feel the kicks. We know we're making this person, as we generally have the role of raising that child for the most part. Sorry for the stereotypes,
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
but the majority of the raising is usually the mother. So we get to watch them grow, watch our characteristics be revealed right there. When, per usual stereotypes, the father is generally at work providing for his family, and through that, the mother will always have this incredible connection to her baby, no matter what. I'm 30 years old, and my mother still says that's my baby. No matter how old my daughter gets, she will be my baby. And that's because I made that child. That's my little human. She's almost taller than me, if y'all haven't noticed. I'm 5'6", she's 5'3.5". She's about to be taller than me, and that's still gonna be my baby. Whereas as for the paternal side of it, yes, that's his child, or yes, that's the small human that he has participated in the raising of. It's also another mouth to feed. It's a responsibility that you take pride in having as a responsibility, and that's what pushes the great father thing. So regardless, if heaven forbid the situation was before the mother, where her husband is about to fall off a cliff or her baby is about to fall off a cliff, the mother, the maternal instinct is going to be to rescue that baby, rescue her baby. And the paternal instinct, as he mentioned at one point, he said that he would save his children because the mother has already lived. But at the same time, Molly stated the mother would want him to save the child. That's correct. And I also feel like Molly mentioned at one point something that the father didn't say. He said something about how he can make more kids. That's not an uncommon paternal thought. Is like, if I lose one, another can be made. But you lose that woman, and you got to go through so many headaches to hope he finds something close.
Yeah, it's tough to lose either one. Even had to choose. I would hate it. Like,
I hope none of y'all, none of the listeners, no people that are good people ever have to find out how they would answer that question.
Right.
Do
you think he would have
been?
Who
you think it is?
good.
I can't
Balancing the show out. Hold on, Trey. We might be a little outnumbered here today. I don't know.
Roll out of bed, bring your dreams
up,
alive.
Speed
The
Bump?
Mac got the groove, keeping you in stride.
What
No
up,
snooze,
Dave?
just
Y'all-
choose to
y'all
wake up.
together.
This is your hour, let your story.
Look at Beavis and Butthead. Y'all out there cutting up.
It's a pretty day.
Oh, wait a minute. Why was Destiny laughing about him calling me Beavis and Tyler Beavis and Butthead? I mean, that's some bullshit. You won the
He can
fucking
laugh.
race.
Because one of you is Cornholio.
Oh God, Julio. TV for my best.
How you
Yep,
been,
there we go.
Speed Bump, man?
There
How
it
you
is.
been, brother? How you been holding up, Speed Bump?
I've been doing pretty good, to be honest. Just staying busy, trying to keep my head out my ass.
Yeah, Dane
Oh,
done
and he
dragged you
broke his-
outside, I see.
No, he broke his fucking wheelchair, man. I mean, I don't know what he was trying to do, but he does this thing called frog splash. You know, because his legs don't work, so like jump out of his chair and like smash somebody. And he, I think he got mad at somebody and he broke his fucking wheelchair. The wheel came off and everything.
If you want me to be honest, I threw it at somebody.
Okay, all right, go ahead, be
Oh, I
honest.
was about to say he took it off and threw it like Captain America's shield. That would be
Uh-huh.
like a,
Hey, I've actually done that before.
Come on, man. You can't be living like that, Speed Bump. I don't know what I'm supposed to pop in too before we get to these
Speed
next
Bump
clips.
wildin'.
I don't live like that no more.
Why not?
Well, I'm trying to encourage him, but there's some resistance. Oh, and they were just talking about how you know, a mother doesn't have unconditional love.
Yeah.
Or you don't. I mean, if you're with you got your wife.
No one said that.
Yeah.
She doesn't get unconditional love, but your kids get unconditional love. What would you say to them? That your kids get unconditional love, no matter what you do.
No matter what, the kids always get love.
I mean, we would hope
and
that.
We were talking about Destiny was talking about you know, when you know you're dating and you there's some new person that comes into your life and you know they do something stupid to your fucking kid. I made the statement that you know, I do have ex-wives. I love all of them. They don't love me as much as they used to. But should they call me and say something happened to one of my babies, who the fuck do you think's coming? Huh?
Ghostbusters.
Damn right.
What?
They coming, Slim. That's different situation too. And I will wonder how people will put that, you know, because it is people who got remarried and have kids. So to say that to your actual kid and saying that a woman come before him or her that actually not their mom or dad, like how do that work? Like Destiny said, she have a daughter, she dating. Can you ever see you putting a man before your child, Destiny?
No. My
Never.
daughter, regardless of like, oh, this person may take great care of me and make me feel like a goddess, but my daughter understands me more than anybody. My daughter is just like me. My daughter is a little version of me. So I want to be the person that my daughter looks at and goes, I want to be like that. I want to be a loving, caring person like my mother. And I will never, ever, ever think that somebody that has just entered my life or that has just taken up this position in my life could be better than the child that is going to be in my life for the rest of my life. Hopefully, because no parent should ever have to bury their child. No parent should ever outlive their child. And I expect my child to be in my life for the rest of my life. And that doesn't have to come with legal paperwork.
Man,
Absolutely. You nailed it. Nailed it.
Yeah, I wonder how that works for some men out here, because a lot of men, they don't have custody, you know, so when they do get another spouse, their child might come on the weekends or whatnot. But I just can't see me actually putting someone before my child. You know, just like I wouldn't even like to have that that have to be an option. I wouldn't even like that. There have to be a question from my child. That's tough, you know, because if you tell your child, look, you know, nobody come before you, your spouse might feel some way. You tell your spouse, don't nobody come before you, your child might feel some type of way. So would it be a way to
Well,
just ease it for both of them, Dame? How would you do it? How would you deal with
well,
this situation?
Molly, I respect that, and I will say this to that statement. Relationships go wrong. You know, you can have children with multiple spouses, but that child needs to know that nothing comes before them until they're gone or I'm gone. Yes, your mama will always be your mama, and I will always be there to protect your mama, even if we're not together. But when it comes to you, man, I will walk through a brick wall, through a fire. I mean, no matter what, I will snatch you out of that trouble. That's my responsibility as a father.
Because you're not a close. You're not an option.
Yeah, there are plenty of situations where I've seen which I have friends that have done this, and I'm like, stop. Okay, that doesn't show your child how important they are to you, where like the child has something coming up, like, oh, I've got this big thing where I'm going to get an award, or I'm competing in a big competition and I want your support there. That support means so fucking much to that child. I don't know if you've seen, there are plenty of videos where kids are just looking around all derpy and then they recognize that their parents are there and they get brighter. They are so happy to have that support. And
Absolutely.
if you're not with your spouse or with your previous spouse, you're not with the mother of your child, and then something is going on and that mother is there, but you have decided, no, I'm going to go do something with this new girl I got, you are putting that new person ahead of your child. In a situation that child is excited about this shit, be there. Just be there.
And Destiny, to your point, Destiny, I witnessed it firsthand. Tyler's dad is a fucking hard ass, coon ass, Southern Louisiana metal fabricator, and he's tough on everyone. But when it comes to his son Tyler, he'll drop whatever he has to do to come out and see what he's doing. And
He came to my show.
go ahead, explain. Your dad's a dick.
My dad's a dick.
Okay, and I mean, he said you sucked the first time he saw you.
But
Hold on, explain. Your dad said you sucked the first time he saw you.
so my dad's a dick, but he's a lovable dick. He's hard on me. He's always hard on me. He's like, oh, you're never gonna do this. You're never gonna do that. Blah blah blah. Whatever you're doing is you're just doing it. You're making a fool out of yourself. And so he came see me at one of my shows. He's like, oh, son, you think you're funny? You suck. So my recent show, him and his friend came see me, and he's like, son, you suck. You're not gonna be a comedian. So I went up. I bet you I could change that, Dad. I bet you I could change how you feel about me. He said, all right. I bet you. I said, all right. So I went up there. I did my show. I went up to him. I said, Dad, how do you feel about me now? He said, son, you rock. You're good. You're good at it. You're good. Keep going, son. Keep going.
Wait, didn't he tell you?
Yeah.
No. His dad said, I was there. I heard it. His dad goes, I take back everything I fucking said before.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, regardless of how your dad was responding to everything ridiculously, there's the positivity of he showed up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
showed up,
But
and you know,
son,
your first set might wasn't as good as your last set. You know, you might did find it more better than the last one, but like Destiny said, he
Right.
showed up. You know, you would like more encouraging words, but if he didn't tell you suck and you was this and that, how hard you would have went that last time you went? Because however you went, he found it good and he found that you was good. So sometimes just respect the just let him know that it's a way of saying things. Like, you like that he did, you like that he's supporting you, but it's just ways that he say things he can say a little better. Cause you know it
Yeah.
seemed like it bothers you. You know, like shit like that. It won't bother me. Definitely, if I know I don't suck. You know, I might laugh and hear my father say some words like that. But it seemed like when he gave you kind words, you was all for it. You know, it changed your mood. You liked it. It might inspired you. So yeah, just be that person. You know, even if he not being that person, you be that person to the next person, and try not to be shit like Pops if that's who he is. You know. But
Yep, my dad still hasn't shown up for any of my comedy. At one point, he said, "Oh, I'm gonna be there Tuesday. This girl I like at work is also a comedian," and I'm like, "What?" But I've been inviting you to shows for a year, and he wanted to be there for this girl he likes, and he did not even show up for her. That was great though, because I ended up doing a whole bit about how shit my dad is that night. It was great.
That's crazy. I'm getting a call while I'm live. I don't know who it is.
Destiny, that's Destiny Andrews is the reason why I hired you is because I know you have no fucking filter. Beautiful. No filter. Destiny has no filter.
You better have a filter.
No, she ain't
Oh,
got
I
no
have
filter.
a filter. I have to use it with Dickie all the time. Dickie calls me more than anybody.
Okay, thanks. You ain't got to put that out
You're
there. I
welcome.
ain't trying to hit on you.
Ah, call me when you're drunk.
Yeah, okay.
It's okay. It's
Well,
okay. It's
yeah,
actually one of my. It's actually like one of the highlights. Ridiculously, because I'm one of the few people that actually can put up with your humor and how ridiculous you are. So whenever you call me, it's actually a highlight to my day. Until you start saying some inappropriate shit while my daughter's in the room. That's something.
Well, I don't know that your daughter's in the room until you've told me that your daughter's in the room after I said something inappropriate.
I say, "Hey, Dickie, nice to talk with you. My daughter's in the area. She can hear you." And you're like, "Okay, I won't say anything appropriate. Hey, Destiny, your tits." And I'm like, "Dude, stop." It cracked me up. I don't mind it. A lot of women would probably take that as like a sexual harassment thing. I don't give a shit. You can't be a comedian and get offended by things like that.
And you won your roast battle. So proud of you.
Yeah, me too.
Man, you killed it.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we're Destiny fans.
Yeah, big Destiny fans.
Not just one high five, but 4 high fives.
Eating hot dogs from the ass.
What did he just say?
Eating hot dogs from the ass.
Oh, you're talking about the hot dog video. Okay.
Yeah, and
I thought he was
Speedboat still
volunteering.
plays it up all the time as you got fucking mustard on your face and you're licking your hands and shit like that. It's like, oh my God, she's balls deep on that fucking hot dog, isn't she?
Absolutely. Hot dogs are life, man. It's like, you remember that old video, Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life? That's hot dogs for me.
Gotta have that Gleazy.
Say that again. Say it again, Ty.
Gotta have that Gleazy.
You gotta have that Gleazy.
I thought it was a glizzy. Them Gleazies.
The Gleazy.
This motherfucker Tyler doesn't know how funny he is yet. I mean, he's getting better and better every day. And
That
cracks me up.
Gleazy.
That Gleazy. Go ahead, define that, Molly. What the fuck is Gleazy? Tyler won't even fucking tell me.
I have no idea what the Gleazy is.
Like
But
a secret code word.
It's a glizzy that makes you wheezy.
we gonna get on to the next video, man.
Okay.
Next video, it was a guy speaking on some things about how he feel like AI been around for a long time, but not only that it been around, he got proof that they wrote about it in the Bible. You know, some people like as a history book, some people but he said they mentioned it, they just gave it a different name. I think he said statues. But I'm gonna share the clip and we're gonna give our thoughts on it. Was AI been around? Was this technology been around based on his research? This is his research, and it's still researchable if y'all want to go deep into it. But just check it out.
He said because there'll be a technology explosion called AI. That's what the Bible says. In the book of Revelation, preachers crack me up thinking I'm wrong until they go read and start crying. In the book of Revelation, it says it is a robot infused with AI that gives the command for everyone to receive the mark. Go read it. He said, I saw in a vision. Remember, the language today is different. He said, I saw in a vision. He said, and they created a statue. The word back then, which is 4,000 years ago, the word robot didn't exist. Statue did. So he doesn't know what he's looking at. He just knows it was a statue. Second thing, he said, then they had the ability to give the statue life. That's called electricity. He said, when the thing came alive, it started speaking arrogantly. And then it says the robot, or he called it the statue, that had the ability to speak, it gave a command that every person that does not receive a mark must die. Robot. And now AI isn't creating AI. And he just said, we're not impressed. It's just, I'll let it come out at the end. So let's get back to the point. He said it'll be like it was in Noah's day. The Bible says in Noah's day, the whole world was wicked, number one. Number two, it says Noah was righteous. Number three, it says out of all of the sin in the planet, it said that all men only thought about evil continually. But it only brought out the sin of sexual perversion. That's the only sin it brought out back on Noah's day. It said the angels came and slept with the women, and it produced giants. In the future, you saw that some of these giants had 5 fingers and 6 toes. Okay, and then it was, y'all want to hear something scary? I don't know why I asked y'all these questions. The Bible says that when the angels slept with the daughters of men, they produced half-breeds called Nephilim. And then it says something very scary. It says they existed in those days and the days after. Apparently we have a sister in the house that reads her Bible and thought she was crazy because she shared it with her family members. Girl, sit down, let me finish my message. It's hilarious. The stuff in the Bible is insane. And there are things, and guess what the angel told? Guess what the angel told Daniel? He said at the end, not one sinner will understand anything.
The movie.
I loved that.
That was pretty
Like
deep.
That was
Well, there are plenty of things in the Bible that like scientists have looked into, like during the 40 days in the desert, or no, it was 40 years in the desert, I think it was, that like, I don't remember all the this and that, but the scientists went and looked at the description that they gave for whatever thing it was that provided them water, and they recreated it, and it was this device that would pull water out of the air and deliver it in a little spigot. There are things in the Bible that explain hover vehicles and all this other stuff, and it's like, wow, this stuff is actually in there, but it's not paid any attention to, because just like how America has found gigantic freaking statues, and I think it was Alaska or Antarctica. I think it was Antarctica, actually. They've not just statues, gigantic skeletons and walls and maps. They found all that shit decades ago, but they tucked it away because they didn't have an explanation for it. And whenever mankind does not have an explanation for it, they hate to bring it up in conversation. So for the Bible to talk about a statue that was given intelligence, of course that's not something that gets brought up in Sunday school. Nobody can explain that.
They can't explain a lot of things that they got going on out here. I still want to know who made the first chip for real. Like, what made you make a computer chip? Because you look at it, it's like, how's that possible? Like, what human? It's just crazy, man. If you just look at it like the motherboard of a computer, it's just like, it's no way. Somebody gave us that technology. But then what's your thoughts on it? He's saying AI been around since ancient time. They just called them statues instead of robots.
Yeah. Well, I'm convinced that that theology is true, but when you profess things, even today, I tell my kids, if you want to do something, think it into existence. And the human brain, still, we only know about 10% of its capacity. We don't know the rest. And we probably never will, because it's the most complex structure of the universe. And to even come close, to get to the 11% or 12% of that ability and put it into a computer brain that can think like a human, that is not only remarkable, but someone had to think that up. Someone had to think about putting rockets in space. Someone had to think about putting satellites out there so that we could all talk to each other and communicate. So if you go back to before all that shit was put out into space and we didn't have cell phones, how did we communicate? We only communicated with our small circle. So now we have a circle that is so vast and so broad and so easy to touch, like this, that whoever thought that up is, that's just extremely remarkable that the human brain has the capacity to create shit like that.
Yeah. Go ahead,
There are so many things in the Bible that are tough to try to explain in the traditional manner. Like, and I know there are going to be plenty of people that hate to hear this one, but if we look all the way back, the original creation of the Bible, the original Dead Sea Scrolls and all, the Bible was originally written polytheistic. And you can tell by one line. That's all you need is at the beginning of the Bible in Genesis, the Bible states, and man will be created in the image of us. It doesn't say in the image of God. It says of us. The original writing of it had actually 3 gods. That had the God that we all know and love. It also had his brother and his wife, but then his wife slept with his brother and he damned them both. And through history, they became the same entity. They both became symbolic of Satan, even though Satan is not, the word Satan is not in the Bible. And I don't even think the word Lucifer is in the Bible. They are names that were given to represent the sinners. And so the Bible has so many this and that's that people don't even dare to look at or pay attention to, because that's not what we were taught.
Yeah. People, but we're waking up. I just think that all of this stuff is not new, but I think a lot of people believe that it's new, so when they say, oh, we just got these smart TVs and we got this and we got that, I just think all of this stuff been around. It just was introduced to us later on, but I just think that energy been around, like electricity been around. Like you can't just create electricity. You discovered it, like sometimes people probably see water for miles and then they discover water, they ain't create it, so I think they just found a way to use it and utilize it. But for certain people, I think something happened, and that's why they knocked down certain places that had all of the knowledge of the history and stuff like that, unless you go to the Vatican. And we know how that's placed. Every book that people believe in, all in that one building. What's that, Dane?
I got a question for Tyler, because he said something earlier. His parents are devout Catholics. And he had it, pushed down his throat. And anytime I bring up the Bible or start talking about it, or someone tries to, preach scripture to him, he just goes, whoop, I'm out of here. So Tyler, explain that.
Explain what?
What your version of the Bible is.
How do I feel about the Bible? How do I feel about the Bible? I don't have a problem with the Bible and people that believe in the Bible, but my perspective, I think the Bible is just a book of guidance. If it helps you, it helps you. But don't try to force the Bible on others, especially me. I grew up in a Catholic family. My mom, my dad, my grandparents, everybody tried to say, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that to gain your, gain your halo and your wings, and if you don't believe in heaven or hell, you're gonna be stuck on earth for the rest of your eternity.
Yeah, and I think that's what goes wrong. Like a lot of these conversations, a lot of people think the Bible just religious. They don't look at it as a history book, but if a teacher hand them a book and say you need to learn this, or you don't pass, they read history on all types of people, so it's just like the if you look at it as biblical, then spiritual, then that's all. You don't look at it as history, even if it's false or not. These people that was writing stories back then, and that's all I look at it. And the guy from the book, that's all he was reading from it. He wasn't saying, you should believe in this or Christianity. He was saying they were speaking on technology that we use in the day. They were just giving it different names. Instead of robots, they was calling it statues. And based on how the scripture was written, they were saying these statues was moving. These statues was able to do all the things that these robots was able to do today. So it sounded like they had robots back in them times. I don't know if they actually was true, them stories, but whoever was writing that about them statues, they knew something about that same technology that we're using. And that's all it was. It was just showing evidence on that. But I got another clip that I don't know if none of y'all know Eddie Griffin, because I heard Dame mention satellites. Because I hear that a lot. And then anytime they want to fix the phones and stuff, they go underground. So we don't actually need satellites to actually use a cell phone, but for some reason scientists got people believing that. I don't know what it became fact, but that is not. Verizon don't use satellites at all. They just use underground. That's why they got the best service. That's why they have service underground. What's that, Destin? Before we shit in this clip.
Just throwing it out there, I may not be like the traditional Christian. In fact, my views are actually closer related to reggaeton, which not many, at least not many white people know that that's actually a religiously based thing. But I do believe in the positivity that comes from being religious. There are so many different things that can help with depression, and a lot of those different things are things that you can find in your local church. So there is a lot of positivity that can come from church. Like I said, my views are not traditional Christian, and like Molly mentioned, the problem is the people that use the Bible as like a weapon. I've been told I'm going to hell for 2 different reasons, and one of them is because I like vagina. Okay, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's the people that weaponize that shit that push others further away. Whereas I think that it's the individuals that are the good kind of Christian, right? The love your neighbor, accept them for who they are. The whole reason I have the amount of respect for Christianity that I do is because I had a pastor that would accept you no matter how you were. He would answer any question you had. And if he didn't have an answer, he would go home, do the research, and get back to you with the answer. He actually cared and didn't judge you because you weren't a Christian. Christianity has a lot of positivities or anything in relation to it. Religion has positivities, and I can appreciate that positivity, even if it's not something that's necessarily for me. Just had to throw that out there because I don't want anybody to think that because I looked into historical moments throughout the Bible and I did this research and looked into all this. I'm not trying to put down the religion. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a different view being a Jew.
Mm-hmm.
Being of a Jewish faith, I know that in our humanity, since the start of Christianity, all wars have been based on that. All of them. You look back all the way through the time.
Holy wars.
From when, right, and today, even today, we still have holy wars. There's the Christianity side, and then there's the Muslim or Israeli or Jewish, or there's Hindus. But Christianity, from what I can tell when I go through my history books, are the biggest perpetrator of lawlessness, complete control and structure and death.
Yeah. I think a lot of them came with death and a lot of killing and stuff. To get in power, you got to do those things. And once them people got in power, they start flipping and using their words for good. You know, that's why a lot
Yep.
of people don't know the history of their faith. It don't matter what religion you're in. They went to war at one time to fight for what they believe in. You know, it's just that I be wondering who put these beliefs out there because they could be history, you know, because a lot of these stories are the same. It just little tweaks here and there, so people believe, oh no, Jesus wasn't really a prophet. Then he was, but it's still like the same stories most of the time. So it just seems like it's another way to divide people. And when I talk these stories, a lot
Yeah.
of people believe I don't believe in the creator. Like, no, I believe in the creator, just like everybody else believe in the creator that created those books. I believe in the creator that created all, you know, and I just like to read those books to know how was our people thinking back then, even the writers from back then. It's just like they was just so creative because once you start to line up this stuff with astronomy, you'll see how much more they was amazing at they writing because it's so deeper than what they just tell us. But it's good to know there was technology back then. I'm gonna share this clip of Eddie Griffin. He was speaking on something about satellites in the firmament, man. I'm gonna share. Y'all give it y'all thoughts on what y'all think. Y'all know he a comedian, so you ain't gotta take him serious. Facebook, don't take us down, no suspend us for any dumb shit.
Out there either, nigga. There's no satellites.
They have so many compartments that break off when he goes. So how is the ship the same when it lands? Yeah. Same shit takes off.
Or even the satellite. Yeah.
No, there's no satellites. They are hanging satellites in the firmament. This is our GPS system. They throwing shit into the firmament, and that's the permanent GPS system. Call it space. But the space between Earth and God is called the firmament. And until he opens that up, it's going to be continued. Firmament. We're his pets. Imagine having hamsters and they wild a motherfucker. If you let them out, they eat your dog and your cats. You gotta have a cap on it, don't you? That's called the firmament. It's in the Bible. Nothing will get through the firmament.
This video is not to discredit Eazy-E and no. We don't do.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, yes, there are satellites. I love where he's getting with it, but I don't know, the area between here and God is still I mean, like I said, my views are more like my views are more like God is in positive energy, God is in life, God is in love, God is in the good in the world. And so my views personally, the cap on the place between here and God is our own actions and whether or not we're willing to keep positivity going. But even so, I'm also a realist in a way. There are definitely satellites. I've seen them, and the stars that we look at night, the majority of the sky is just full of fucking satellites. It's almost sickening how much trash is up there because a lot of those satellites are not even being used. So I gotta say, nah on that one.
That's good. What's
Well,
your thoughts on it, Dan? You mentioned
Well,
satellite.
I think that. Well, I'm getting off satellites. I think that Tyler's a Rastafarian because he's trying to roll dreadlocks to make him look like Molly Robinson.
That's my guy.
It had nothing to do with satellites, but I think he's a Rastafarian like Destiny. Destiny's Rasta.
I got the big gauges.
Okay.
Oh, as far as satellites are concerned, I mean, the Russians were the first ones to put a satellite up, and that was called Sputnik.
Yeah.
Is it still up there? I mean, is
Yeah.
there
I
just
mean,
a
I
bunch of
don't know. I never really seen a satellite, you know. I never seen
Actually,
one.
is
I
there just a bunch
seen
of
G
garbage?
I seen CGI images, but even when they show pictures of the Earth, like I never see a bunch of satellites. Like it's supposed to be damn near hundreds of thousands of satellites all in the sky, but whenever they take a picture of the night sky, the stars and stuff, I never see satellites. When they take pictures from space, supposedly be space, I never see satellites in the way of the pictures. So it's just like if it's satellites floating everywhere, why when they take pictures of the Earth, I never see them in the way? You know, like that's like me taking a
you ever
picture
go
of
to
you across the street and there's traffic and cars coming through. If I keep taking pictures, you're gonna see cars that passing through in the way.
yeah,
There's no way I
yeah,
can get
but
an image of you without
if
that.
you're waiting to take a picture of something in particular, and
Mhm.
you don't share the picture that has all the shit running through it. You share the picture that was the perfect picture, the one that nothing was between you and what you want to look at. Also, just throwing it out there, go outside, look at the stars. I mean, there have
Nah,
been
I see
plenty of
the
times
stars.
that
They
I just got
ball
on
of
my daddy's
energy.
roof and
They
looked at
ball
the
of
stars.
energy though, right? You never looked at a star through a telescope with a camera. It's a ball of energy. It's not a satellite. It's
No,
literally
no, no.
floating
You're
energy.
right. You're right.
Even
Stars
Venus,
are balls of energy,
Mars,
but if you
none
go
of
out
that.
and you look at the sky, you very often will see things that look like stars, but they're
Or
moving
you just
faster
gonna
than a
make it
star.
satellites, so you don't know they sat. You just gonna say that must be satellites because they moving in the sky.
Well, satellites, they catch on to the sunlight and they reflect back and they look like stars in the sky. But if you go outside on a good night and you're just looking at the sky, you will see a
I
shit ton of stars. You will see stars that move funny, and you will every night see a shooting star if you were staring at the sky.
Yeah, a shooting
Because
star, not a
yeah, shooting
satellite.
stars are
I
just
want to see a
asteroids that
satellite.
enter the atmosphere and burn up. That's all they are. But
Okay,
you will see these things.
I gotta
Some
see it. That's the only thing,
it,
because it's professional cameramen out here with better equipment than any of us. They can't get a picture of a satellite that you saying is a star. They taking pictures. You get a picture of the moon right now with your iPhone, and I bet you don't see no. Now get a picture of a satellite floating in space or wherever you from, and I will believe it. But so far,
when you take
nobody
a
ever
picture of a
gotten that
satellite,
picture.
it looks like a star in the picture.
That's the thing. But the moon look like a moon. A rocket look like a rocket. A plane look like a plane. A jet look like a jet. Everything look like it look like except a satellite. It's just it's just curious to look into. I just don't take science for just what they say anymore, because the same people who say
Mhm.
satellites up there, they say Mars is a planet that you can land on. And when you go look at Mars through that same telescope, you're telling me that you can see satellites on. You see that Mars is not a landmass like Earth. It's just a ball of energy, but it does shape into red form,
It
and
is
it
a
does look like the
it
image
is
that they
it is
share.
a landmass. It's just
It's
not
not
one
here.
with the atmosphere that America has, or
Yeah,
not America,
you right.
that Earth has. It's one of those, like, should we be able to get up there, we have to recreate the atmosphere we have, and at least the damn bubble, or nobody is going to live. It's also
But
likely going to be much colder because it's further from the sun.
so y'all ever see the planets through a telescope?
Yeah.
Yep. I have. Yep. Mercury, Mars,
And it looked like
Venus.
the planets that they be showing us on TV. Like y'all think y'all can land a rover on Mars when you see it? Because if that's the
Yeah.
case, every star that we see is a landmass too, because it's just the same thing
No.
as a bigger star. So
No, it's the portion where the sunlight, which is of course the center of our portion of the universe, because of course we've got the galaxy, and then there's a little tiny star somewhere up in there, and then we are even smaller circling that bitch. That giant star that we're circling, we're caught in the gravitational field of. Its light goes off and it bounces off of things and comes back. Whereas the stars, the stars that we see, they don't need the light from our star to reflect off of them. They put off their own light, and it takes forever, however many light years away it is, that's however years it takes for that light to get to us. So there, I mean, for example, if something is 20 light years away and we can see it, if it burns up, we're not going to see that it's a dead star until 20 years later when that light isn't getting to us anymore.
Oh, okay. And scientists said this, they ain't prove it. This is a theory, right? Because nobody ever went that far and came back to know the distance. It'd be weird. I just question things that they say. What up, Train? You know, you pop back in here, brother.
Welcome back.
Hey, see Trey and snuck back in here with it.
I like to take religious things and look at the science behind it too. So there are multiple things that agnostic individuals can look at the Bible and say, oh, well, this, and this, that. How come this? And there's generally some kind of like science and religion actually go hand in hand in a lot of different details. So it's I don't know. Like, it's all fascinating.
They not proving nothing anymore, though. It just seemed like they made a bunch of theories up and people just take it as fact. And they still saying it's theories, but it still seems like people argue them as facts. Like you can't go to scientists and ask them, you know, certain these things because they'll know that it's not fact, you know, but it is a theory. That's why it's called the Einstein theory. They never say the Einstein fact, you know. So it's just like everything
the scientific theories,
yeah,
a scientific theory is something that they thought about and then they tested it enough to come through with as best of an answer as they've got.
Yeah, instead of coming up with an answer like they normally do, they will run things over and over till they actually come up with the exact fact. You know, that's what science is you keep actually doing the results and over till you actually get it correct. You know, that they just threw a theory out there. Now they're using that theory to make it fact. That's tough. But it is some people out here that be questioning. They be making me want to ask other people, like, do they question these things or how do it make them feel? It doesn't bother me. I don't know if the earth round, flat. I don't know, but it does bring a question to why science say what it is when it's not no proof of what they say that it is. And people got questions. I'm gonna share this next clip. We're gonna get in our thoughts on what Buddy think about the rainbows and why the rainbow does what it does. This is
refraction.
This is a good one, though. If you into science, and you might like.
First took this video and it proves that rainbows are not what we have been told, guys. And it proves real science, which is rainbows reflect off of the dome. That's why we see a circular shape from above and a dome shape from the ground. Rainbows can only form if there is a prism. They 100% prove that there is a dome over us. Reflective glass. All you have to do is think about it, right? They say rainbows form when sunlight interacts with rain droplets, acting like tiny prisms that bend and reflect the light. So this is the nonsense that they're claiming. So how would this form a perfectly domed structure? And how would rainbows be perfectly circular from above? And where is the rain, by the way? I don't see it raining. And then you need to assess the height of rainbows as you move further south. They get lower and lower and lower, right? So here's Brazil, here's Kenya. Now we're gonna get more south, Australia, and then Antarctica. Look at how small these rainbows are because they're closest to the edge of the dome. Here's the real map of the earth. In the middle, that's where the highest point of the dome is. That's where the highest point of the firmament is. At the edges, that's where the lowest point is. So the firmament lands right here. Australia is right here. That's why the rainbows are so small, because they're reflecting off the firmament. It's very tiny. This is also when you fly in the southern hemisphere, flights actually are lower than if they are in the northern hemisphere. Look this up. Flights actually fly lower in the southern hemisphere versus the northern hemisphere because they can't hit the dome. This is real science, guys, and this is the truth. Peace and love.
Hey, y'all, I got a dip. Love you guys.
Right, dang.
I got a dip.
Oh, somebody
Alright,
somebody out in that next video.
Okay.
All right, dang.
Well, that's not exactly something I can disprove. It probably has something to do with air pressure. The higher up you get, or the closer to the next level of atmosphere that you get. But I have not done research on that, so I cannot provide an exact response to it.
Yeah, the rainbow, the only thing you can recreate in your house, you know, but you can't use it without reflecting it off some type of mirror or some type of, so it's like for us to have a rainbow outside, it's reflecting off something. So it's just like it makes sense, but what science says, it doesn't make sense, but we'll try to make sense of it because science said it. So it's just like it all be, it'd be fun and game though. I like that they bring these conversations up and people question the same people who lie to us about everything else. They tell us this is healthy, eat this would nourish you. Then later on, oh no, that actually causes cancer. But these same people all partner up together. They gonna tell us the truth about everything else. I just don't know why would they lie about that. If that is the case, I'd be wondering what would they get from lying to us about how the earth is, where we at.
What exactly is the lie?
They basically saying that it's no space. You can't go to space. They never been to the moon. There's no proof they've been in the moon. That's why they won't go back to the moon. It's affirming. It's something keeping us from going out. That's why they would say we're gonna get through that glass ceiling. That's why you watch Operation Fishbowl. We actually shot rockets straight into the sky. It's history. Like we got actually footage. It's actually documented. They shot rockets straight into the sky to break through something. In every election or any president, even Hillary Clinton, will say we're gonna crack through that glass ceiling. And that's what it came from. That's where the whole thing came from. But that's what our ancient people believe. So it's just like, what did we know that they don't know? Other than a theory, they use a theory to change everything. Before we actually believed the earth was round, everybody else believed the earth was flat, and we was in the firmament. To the much that it's in every book, ancient book. This is how the maps was depicted, and all the planets that they saying that actually outside of space, they actually passed the ice wall. That's why they got a treaty that you can't go past the ice wall. That's the one thing that everybody in the country agreed to, that we all can't explore past here. But if you look at all the old maps and all the old books, they talk about this place called Mars and how the sun is different there. And it's just past the ice wall. This place called Jupiter, Saturn. All of these places actually got same names that we got in our planets. And they actually describe almost the same. They just got different atmospheres there. It's not like it's here there. They got different beings and shit there. They used to believe that. But
yeah, there's the asteroid wall that's right after Mars, because Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are all rocks, whereas Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, they're all gas giants. They're just made of gas. We can't land on them. We have had rockets that we sent into them to see what was up. And actually, crazy work. What was it? Jupiter? That red dot that we see on it's very similar to a storm where it's raining diamonds. So it's crazy work. I love science. I love
it, man. I used to really be into it, but I started to get too much into it when I started noticing everything is CGI mostly. And it was just like, this not real. Every picture I mostly seen of Mars was not a real picture of Mars. So it's like somebody telling you somewhere is 100 light years away and they describe you everything about it. How do you know that? You'll need to live 100 light years to get there, get on there, actually discover the weather and everything there, but they just make up theories. And then people use it as fact and say, well, this is Saturn. It's like, did nobody never been to Saturn? They say, well, we sent something there. How long it took there? How we got the technology to send something that far out there and get back to give us the data? Like, but we ain't got technology to get to the moon now. It just contradicts itself every time.
But we're spinning, rotating at the same time while moving forward.
Yeah, I heard that.
We're still able to get something to come back.
Well, it doesn't come back.
So it doesn't come back.
No. If something gets sent out yonder, there's no way developed thus far for them to get things like that back.
I'm watching documentaries and they say something about returning samples.
Yeah, they be
well,
running.
okay.
I'm not talking about meteorites. I'm not talking about
whenever something does come back, it blows up in the news and NASA news and this and that. Yeah. So there are things that'll be closer, but whenever something gets sent out to like a gas planet or something, those go into that gas planet and they transmit the information to us. They're stuck there. They're there forever. That just is what it is. And eventually, years down the line, probably closer to when our sun is starting to change color or some shit, maybe we'll find a way to put a bubble out there or some shit. But as per right now, NASA is currently still working on finding a way to replicate Earth's atmosphere and put it on Mars, because if they can't do that, there's no way that these billionaires can go up to Mars. Which, wouldn't that just be awful?
Yeah, all that stuff stays. They make too much money. They make billions of dollars weekly just to do that. So if somebody gonna give me money to go to Mars and I know I got no way to actually get into a place that actually not there, I just stay stuff like they've been doing repeatedly. It's like it makes sense why they doing it if you want the money and generate the people. It don't make sense why the people, they don't really need no evidence. Like right now, we know for sure if you follow the moon cycle, how many days and everything you'll get out of the whole year. We know where the North Star is. We know the North Star never move. We know the Big Dip is in the exact same spot. So it's no way that the sky aligned the exact same way every year and do the exact same alignment if we just going through infinite space and we don't know this and that. So it's like
There
it
will be no such thing as a
contradicts
clear
itself.
sky.
It won't be ever. But it's just like they say things, and I think they never thought we'd get this advanced to start questioning things. I really do. I think we were just at a point that we just went along, and now people starting to question stuff like, hold up, you creating us, you want us to go to y'all classes and learn these things. Now y'all want us to become scientists too. Kids gonna ask questions and like, hold up, how do this make sense? How can you do this and do this? And now they got to
That's
let you know.
actually one of the first ever, it wasn't named as a sin, but one of the first ever unspoken sins in the Bible is questioning God's work. Because you notice they went and initially Adam and Eve, they have no understanding of what's around them. They're just accepting and happy. They don't recognize that they're unclothed. They don't understand all this other jazz, and then they eat that fruit, whatever the fruit is. People keep saying it's an apple. I don't care. They eat that fruit, and all of a sudden they get the ability to start questioning shit around them. And they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden, according to the Bible. Questioning God's creations is too much knowledge for a human being to have.
No such a thing. That's my dad. No such a thing.
What did he say?
According to the Bible, that's my father. So no, that makes no sense. My father's supposed to teach me and show me. Too much for my eyes, too much for me to see. When people on this land are schizophrenic and seeing other realms and other titles that are put on them, but they're seeing realms that we can't touch right here, but we call it something like autism or whatever and slap a title on it. I mean, people right around us seeing other realms that we can't see. So I don't think anything is too much for my eyes. Because I know if I take a tab of acid, I know whatever I'm gonna see is not too much for my eyes, and I don't see it on a normal occasion.
Well, it is the unspoken sin is to question God's creations.
Yeah, that's where people get halted at. When they get past that, when their mind get past that little notion, then they'll be willing to dig a little bit more. That's I think the common fear with America being the it's supposed to be Christian based, and they always say and God and God and all of that. I think it's that Christian base that they automatically really put over Americans, period, that has people in a halt where they don't want to discover more. They think they're being defiant by looking into something. Because I
think people should question everything. And I love that people starting to look at things differently. I love that people starting to read older scriptures and older books to see how these people was thinking and living, because as you see, they changed a lot. They changed a lot of history. They making it seem like a lot of things new that I think, a lot of the stories was revamped. This last clip is a guy talking about the Adam and Eve story. That's good that you brought it up. And how he looked at it differently, from his studies and stuff. They was talking more than just about a woman and a man in a garden. it's a lot more to it than they actually be telling us. So I'm gonna break it down in this. Well, he'll break it down in this clip, and we'll talk about it a little bit after we hear his thoughts on it. It was crazy though.
Adam and Eve is a story about you. The ancients knew the universe as a mental construct. The scripture speaks in code about your mind consciousness. Genesis is not history, but the story of your incarnation, your fall from unity to duality. As a child, you entered the world pure, whole. Your heart, mind, and actions were in harmony. You expressed yourself freely without fear or shame, without suppressing yourself to please society and fit in. In this state of innocence, you lived in unity with nature and the world. This was Eden, the beginning of creation, your incarnations, the beginning of your incarnation. In early childhood, there was no ego. You did not see your parents as separate, but as an extension of yourself. Identity had not yet formed. The ego, which is false, comes later, built by memory, trauma, and conditioning. But the child is whole, acting from only what feels true in the heart. That is Eden. As you grew, the serpent appeared. The snake is a symbol of transformation because it sheds its skin. It offered the fruit. To eat is to break down and transform. Eating is symbolic of breaking down and transforming. And this is what happened to your consciousness. The right hemisphere of the brain, holistic, it sees things as a whole, dominated in childhood. But with age, the left hemisphere of the brain rose in influence. It separates, analyzes, and builds identity. This shift corresponds to Eve's encounter with the serpent, the right hemisphere of the brain, the feminine. This is the beginning of the transformation. Eve represents the right hemisphere. The serpent represents the transformation. Eating the fruit symbolizes the breaking down of unity into duality. The right brain, unity, left brain breaks it down. Adam and Eve realize they are naked once they eat the forbidden fruit. Nakedness is psychological exposure, the first time you become aware of yourself as you grow older. As you grew older, you too became self-conscious. You formed an ego, aware of conditioning. You hid aspects of yourself to fit in. Fear, shame, masks replaced the purity of your Eden state of consciousness, your true self. This is not a fall, not of Adam and Eve long time ago, but of every human that lives on the earth. The innocent unity of childhood, our pure self, gives way to the divided self-awareness of adulthood. You no longer see your parents as a part of yourself. You separate from the world. You gain an ego. You suppress aspects of yourself to fit in. You have negative thoughts. You have limiting belief systems. This is all the left hemisphere of the brain. Genesis is your story. The path now is to return back to the Garden of Eden to become whole and unified. The story of Genesis and Adam and Eve is about you, a psychological transformation from childhood into adulthood.
Mike muted, Destiny.
My bad. But that was interesting. I like that he brought up right side versus left side as the brain, because the right side is the feminine portion, most represented by circles, because the curvature shape being more fluid. And it's also the side that we find our creativity and also where we get the most distracted. Beautiful. The left side of the brain, most commonly represented by triangles, being straight to the point. Men are very point A, point B. Let's get to the point. No bullshit kind of ordeal. And for him to bring up the right side of the brain is very commonly, especially in like the teen years, obstructed by the left side of the brain. where this person over here is acting this particular way, and that's the way I'm supposed to act, right? So I'm gonna change my creative thinking to acting more point A, point B.
Yeah.
The creating a wholeness within yourself is being able to balance the right side and the left side of your brain, which I don't know about getting to Eden, but I do know that, and I know some people find this ridiculous, but chakras, actually, if you did go look at chakras and then look at how to accomplish the most, the best way to meet the, what is it, the most relaxed or the peak, reaching
crown
your
chakra.
comfortable chakras, you go and pay attention to that and you do that, and it is a balance of left and right brain, and it does actually make life a whole lot fucking easier if you can balance left and right brain.
Yeah.
That's all on my note.
No, you made some good points. What up, Chow Bout? What up, Wheezy? We in here. She said, "Happy Thursday, beautiful beings." She also said, "Our Creator made us in His likeness and image. We're given the free will and knowledge for a reason. We weren't supposed to be curious and question what's around us. We will be animals. We are the only beings outside of aliens, if you believe in them, that has the ability to think, process, manipulate, doubt, accept, research, and continue to absorb information without shutting down. There's no principle for what we say, no salvation for things we doing, killing helpless women, men, and children. Damn, don't know why they down for. Okay, Sliggy Woo. What else?
Well, that's why the apple or whatever in the Garden of Eden that they ate, it was known as the fruit of knowledge. The more knowledge we get, like the less knowledge we have, just like as a baby, if you're walking around naked, you don't give a shit. I mean, you might literally shit, but you don't care. Whenever you're a baby, you're the closest to Eden. So that was pretty well said by the individual that you played the video from. When we are children, we don't have this battle of left and right brain. It's the fact that we push knowledge and we want to know more. We want to learn more. That's, like I said, the unspoken sin of the Bible is wanting more knowledge, questioning things.
Gotta question things. Riri said they are letting her out. That's what's up. Riri coming home. That's what we talking about. My girl will be home. Chow said Chun Li in the house today. I see. What up, Destiny? Yeah, and I agree with a lot of things you just said, because when he broke it down, that just explains as when you're a kid, and when he mean by you'll return, he mean by when you older, you depend on people just as you depended on people as you a child. So you always return back to that form, you know. So we come to this earth, we need people. We can't just come out the womb and feed ourselves and do it. We need people. But we get to a certain age, we start to build an ego. We start to build awareness that what people like, what people don't like. We start to join certain social clubs, certain churches or beliefs. So you start to become that person that, you know, you're going to actually become. But as you get older, you starting to fade back into that childhood state. You know, some people go dementia. It be all types of things that happen to older people, but they actually get to the point they need to be taken care of. So you got daycares and you got old folks homes, but right there in the middle is the time that we live in our life. So it go fast. I know a lot of us feel like it's going too.
I've got a question. It's just you in here, it looks like, and you can answer, and I would love if the individuals commenting would like to answer. Okay, Althea said it went back to rhythm on her own, so awesome. But when I was little, my father was explaining Bible related things and stated that because my father and mother had sex to create me, I was born out of sin. Even though I was born a pure being, sin is what brought me in. But is that true considering my parents were together? Like, I could see him saying that because me and my daughter's father, hell, we were together for 1 month officially when I found out I was 2 months pregnant with his baby. So I could see my daughter born, even though she was born innocent and still is innocent overall.
Yeah.
She was born out of sin. But why would my father believe? And he was at the time using scriptures for individuals that have looked into that. With my father and mother being married whenever they created me, was I born out of sin?
Yeah, I just say who created sin. You know, who that's the thing. It's just like, what is sin? You know, it's good and bad things, but people do put in certain scriptures that this is sin. You shouldn't do this until you do this. You shouldn't, but it's some cultures that they probably didn't believe in marriage. They probably never knew or heard about it. Somebody came up with this creation. I think it was somebody that probably lost his girlfriend. Probably said she belonged to me. We married. What you mean we married? Meaning that only she can be with me. We actually, like, it's somebody that came up with that, because before then I'm
Well,
pretty sure it probably was
it's an
men.
ancient ordeal. It's an ancient ordeal where,
Yeah.
like, I mean, for a while it was, oh, I can give you this and give you that and give you this, and now you're my property. Women have, since the beginning of history, been something that a man can claim as property, whether he earns it or he takes it. A woman can be considered property all throughout history. It's only the recent years that we've gotten to where women are like, no, the fuck, I'm not. I can take care of myself. But in older days, no, you had to have a man to make sure that you were taken care of. It just was the norm.
Yeah.
So as per when marriage started, that's ancient. That's, ma'am, I'm going to go up to your daddy and offer him 3 fat pigs so that you can be my property. I'm going to trade him something that I look at as of equal worth to who you are, and you're going to be my property. So that's all marriage was. And now marriage is just a legal handing over of yourself. And now you get to take on whatever debt they have and whatever issues they have. That's what you're marrying into. It's a legal document that says now you have to put up with everything that this person has.
Exactly. So why would a creator put that you must be married before you actually have sex, or it's a sin? That lets you know a man wrote it. Louise said, Louise said, according to the Bible, yes, we was born into sin. No matter if your parents were married or not, shouldn't you question that? Yep, I heard we all born sinners, no matter
I am
what.
questioning that.
So
the answer comes from my question.
exactly. So it's just like, I just know man created that. That's just something that somebody created. So you'll be in fear of actually having sex with the person you love right then and there. They want you to actually get married. Married is business. People just thinking, oh, it's just cute. No, it's business. You got to actually file papers. Divorce is business. So it's just people want to be in your business. Oh, if y'all want to get married, y'all want to get love. Now it's 10,000. I done seen people break up after marriage. I'm a photographer. Most times, man, it'd be 2 months later, they ask me take the pictures down. And you be like, dang, what happened? Y'all was good. I like how y'all, and it was just basically bills from the damn marriage. They got to still pay off things, and they ain't got the money financially. She ain't working, or he ain't working, or somebody ain't doing something. But it seemed like if they didn't choose to get married and risk all that money, they probably be still lovely and happy and just wait till you actually can afford it.
I think that if you have been dating, which, by the way, statistically, most marriages that the proposal was done within 6 months, they fail, statistically speaking. But I think if you're planning on getting married to anyone, you have to go through at least one horrible time with them. You have to know that you are that you are strong enough to get over the bad before you decide this is so good, I want it forever. You have to experience the bad, because if you get married thinking, oh, everything's amazing, nothing's ever going to go wrong, the moment something goes wrong, you want to tap out. You're like, oh, I can't do this. Now she's all of a sudden, like, I've seen it plenty of times, actually, mostly from the men, that, like, after a little bit into the marriage, he starts going through depression, which depression is normal. And if you're not taking steps to get rid of that depression, then it'll get stronger. And one of the steps that can be taken is speaking to your significant other about what's going on. And far more often than not, when a person says, hey, significant other, I'm going through a bout of depression and I would really like for you to help me with it, they start pointing the finger at themselves saying, oh, I'm the problem. And then everything comes twisting down and it gets worse. So I think that if anybody gets married, you have to go through like a moment where you're so poor you can't provide food at your table and you're starving together, or go through the depression together and see how that person can handle it. If you can't handle the worst, then you can't. It's one of those, if you can't handle me at my best, then you don't deserve, or if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. It's literally like that. Everybody is going to go through some downs. If you don't go through a single down before you get married, the moment you go through a down while you're married, it's absolute ass. On the contrary, though, my sister's a bag of chips for my sister's first marriage lasted longer than her first marriage. That was funny.
God damn, the bag of chips lasted long. How long was that?
She was married for maybe 2 months before they signed the paperwork, and the bag of chips expired the next day, which was crazy.
God damn. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people, they do it for love, but people gonna go through situations. Y'all gonna argue, y'all gonna fight. It just sucked that the person you just made vows with, that if you do go through something, through good or bad, you know, through the worst, y'all supposed to get through it. And that's the first
part of
thing
your vows is for better or for worse. It's not for better and forever better.
Yeah, and it just sucks because people like that in general. Like if your spouse was the become a millionaire, you'll love to explore that with them and go on trips and all that. But if they going through a downtime or bankruptcy, that's when people tend to leave. You know, that's when people tend
You
to
got to
treat
be
you
stronger
different.
than the problems that are presented. If you're signing up for better or for worse, all because all you've had is best, then when that better hits, you better, or when that worse hits, you better be ready to put up with that and get through it with strength and knowledge.
Yeah, now cheating different. I ain't telling people out there if you're getting cheated on, you should stick around for better or for worse. But I'm just saying little petty arguments or disagreements and miscommunication, things like that. Y'all supposed to get through those things. Y'all don't supposed to just argue and move on. But I
knew a girl that said that if she ever had an argument with her man, she'd divorce him on the spot. And I'm like, that's savage.
Yeah, that's savage. So he probably would never argue with her. You know, he probably like, nope, he just gonna let her win, you know, because he really feel like I don't want to lose her. And that's not love. That's not a relationship. That's
all that does is point out that you are not willing to put up with the worst side. You are not strong enough to handle when things could be bad. That also takes away his voice, and that can't voice when he's upset with something because he's worried he might lose you over it. That's going to create this internal thing bottling up. More likely that individual is going to go through depression because they are unable to express themselves.
Okay, we just said Destiny. I said that because you said there was an unspoken rule in the Bible that said, "Oh yeah, we shouldn't question God." Yeah, they So they got an unspoken rule. So yeah, that made sense. We should question everything. That would make you want to question it, you know. And I'm happy that we are. I just be funny to me. It's just like it just always they always say like the beginning of times. You know, this how things was early on in time. Like our thought of early on, it was million years before that. You know, so it just like I just know at one point at this time in this era that men did this or this what was going on. But I always be wondering like what was happening before that. Because I don't think women was always in this situation because women give birth to us. I think at one point women ruled everything. You know, it was at a point that they found love for their sons and started putting them in position to rule, and things probably changed. I think a lot to do with bloodline too. Once people start to become kings of certain part of land, you want to leave it to another person, or you want to make sure it stayed in the family. And if it was with another family, you want to make sure they married your family to keep it in the bloodline. But I think before then, things was a lot different, you know. But question everything. If they say IHOP just opened up, I want to know, oh, they just opened, how long they been around? Okay, what made them bring this? Was there any spots before this? A lot of people think Apple been around forever. They only been around for 16, 17 years or that, the Apple iPhone. You know, so it's just like, but it's gonna come a time that kids gonna think that this always been around. It's kids that's born today that think that internet always been a thing. They think social media always been a thing. And that's where we at. We think that a lot of the history, they tell us that that's what it always was. Like, nah, it was stuff before that. Just how we starting to come up with new things and new creation, TV and movie. I just be like, what was they doing before these wars and things? They was fighting for something. We always hear about the wars and what happened after the war and but what was they doing? It had to be a time of peace for at least 100, 200 years. Like, that's what I want to know. So that's why I dig into these old stories, because when you read these old stories, you hear and you see that it was a lot of people living in peace, all different colors of people. They didn't know what color was. There wasn't such thing of a black person, a white person. It was just people, you know. But now they done found a way to divide us so many places, and they use the states, they use cities, they use countries, they use religion, they use sports, they use everything. And we go along with it. Tall people, short people, fat people, small people. It just be like, it's a club for everything. It's the big boy club. You know, you gotta be 300 pounds and over being here. What if I like what y'all talking about, my man? I'm 5'3" and little nigga in here. You know, let me in. But it just seemed like that's just the way to divide us. Let us all talk. Let us all come together. Let's get back to being one humanity. You know, and that's what I can't wait till we get to. And we may not never get to that day, but I'd love to live to see it.
I think it was Dickie earlier that said that every war that's ever been was because of religion. That's not true. Religion has actually had a shit ton of wars. In fact, the biggest wars that we go back to in history were about religion. In fact, that's actually the reason why Christianity is the predominant religion, is because the Crusades happened and it was, you're going to be a Christian or you're going to die. But there, a lot of wars are also because of property, trying to be like, hey, I'm in charge of this area, I want to be in charge of more area. I want how I want everybody to live. I want that to be how everybody is doing. So a lot of wars are also based on I want this land to be my land.
Yeah, for my people, and this and that. Is just, man, it's enough room for everybody. Until we figure that out, man, just like people always want
it's not only land, like that stuff that's going on with Ukraine right now. That's not just as simple as Russia wants to own the land. Russia also wants to have the incredible minerals that are on that land and to make profit off of those, because the minerals underneath Ukraine are actually worth, I think it was $1.2 trillion. So money and power. Money, power, and religion are the biggest reason for war.
And they always man-made. Man-made. Money was created. Religion was created. And it was created for these very things that you say that it caused. It caused wars. It caused people division. They killing each other over fake things. Money is not real, but for some reason people don't believe in witchcraft. That is witchcraft. They got putting power into a piece of paper. Now they got to the point that you don't even need it. It come digital. You know, the internet, it ain't all good, you know.
If you give the mentality, just like in religion or in the Bible, where it says if one person says it's true, then it could be chalked off as a lie. But if multiple people say that it's true, then it's the truth. And that's how judicial situations were at the time. Yeah. Eat the rich. But if we decided as a whole community, just everybody all of a sudden said, hey, there's a book that does this, but cheese is now currency. Cheese is the most valuable thing. Then all of a sudden there is no dollar bills. It's all cheese. We come together as a community, and just like fucking Fallout, bottle caps are considered currency. It's whatever we as a community decide is the currency. One person can't say, hey, actually, I'm going to give you a block of cheese for this thing right here. That's called a trade now. You can decide yay or nay, but that's not a currency. If we, thank you. At one point, a bunch of guys said, hey, we've got this gold, and gold is shiny and can be made into things that are overall indestructible, and it's so good. We're going to consider this the optimal thing for trade. And then they started making money that paper bills and change that represented a certain amount of gold or silver. And that's what we're doing. We actually have more paper bills and more change created than we actually have the gold to represent it. That's why the value of a dollar keeps going down.
No gold. We ain't got no gold to back up any of these funds that they talking about. And gold comes from the earth. So it's just like how we got gold. We're like, oh yeah, this how much gold we got. It's like, what are we talking about? Like gold come from there. Where you take that gold from? Who did that gold belong to? And why does it belong to you? Why did this land? It's like people don't just sit back and just question just simple things. Like, hold up now. Like how
even right now, since we don't have gold circulating right now, every single place in the world just about has some kind of currency. And regardless of what that currency is supposed to represent, we still look at that currency as this is the currency. Here we've got our American dollar bills. That is currency. We have this much money, but you don't have any gold. It doesn't matter you don't have any gold, because you got this paper thing over here. Just like I could say this cap over here represents like 5 pennies. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
You've got to have the currency for where the hell you are.
Yeah.
And we all said paper money is it.
It's all debt. They're just putting people in debt. They live off debt. But we got to be crazy to keep thinking we're going to go for that. That's why they created Bitcoin. It just came out of thin air. Like a dude just created a coin, right? And now it's worth so much money. It's just like, do people understand that just came out of thin air? Like, he just created this thing.
Yeah,
like,
ridiculously, Bitcoin and all those different coins, they're more like, honestly, more like collectibles, because it was like, hey, I've got this thing right here, and to me, it's worth this amount. And then people are like, hey, I'm going to buy it. And the more people that wanted it, the more worth it was, it represented. And it's just like a collectible. I've got this Batman figure.
Show me a Bitcoin. Now I ask him, show me a Bitcoin. Oh, I gotta grab that's not nothing physical. Like if I grab a paint and I buy it can have value to it, but a Bitcoin doesn't. A gold coin have value to it. I can actually take it to a pawn shop. I can sell it to somebody. I can keep it and hope it grow more value. But Bitcoin, it is like, dog, this not ain't nothing physical. Like I can actually touch. At least y'all can create some type of coin for people. So at least they can, but then they worry about people might get robbed or scammed for it. So it's just great that it's straight digital and anything can happen. Somebody can hack your Bitcoin.
It's also in card form, funny enough. Some currency cards are being sold, and it's stupid because it's like a blind box, so you don't know what you're grabbing, and you can grab it and you might get a Bitcoin in on this card, and then you take that little code and you put it down somewhere.
That's smart. Yeah, I seen a couple of them. That's smart. Say come out of nowhere. We are the reason its value's up so high. We put our access into it. Yeah, that's why they went after Tory Lanez. He created his own. And he went off and overnight started making so much money. People got rich. He said, why make a penny, less than a penny on a dollar, putting his music on his music platform? He just sold it as a coin for $1. And them joints sold out. And that was smart because like, why just sit back and make a penny on a dollar or less than a penny on a dollar when I can actually make a physical dollar off of each sold joint? And you getting this hold for $1. That's better than the website selling it to you for $9.99, $16, and they only gonna give him pennies off of that. So he like, nah, skip that. I'm gonna save y'all money. I'm gonna just charge y'all $1, and I'm gonna get paid more, and it's just $1, and y'all gonna save $15 to $20. So I like it. We ain't
That
gonna
makes me
hang
think
too
about
long.
how Taylor Swift is not on Spotify because she said music should not be free.
Yeah,
But I think music should be free.
She's saying
But
it's
she's
basically
like, you're gonna pay me.
they're getting nothing on them downloads. Snoop Dogg had like 40 million something downloads, and he thought he was about to get a nice check. He got a check for like $70 or something. He was pissed off. He was breaking down a lot, and he's like, he don't do that. So it makes sense, man. You gotta set your own. Destiny for popping in with us. They definitely love you in the comments as always. And if you got anything to say before you get up out of here, go ahead and let the people know it.
Today, okay? Your positivity makes so much good happen in this world. Just like the song Don't Worry, Be Happy. It's saying that your positivity will branch out to others. If you are down, it is okay because everybody else is probably going through some shit. Yeah, right? Music is free. Music, happiness, positivity. Go be a good fucking person and watch positivity grow. Bloom.
Love it. Go watch it. Weezy Wee, appreciate you for tapping in with us. You better get in here with us tomorrow on Freaky Friday. We're gonna bring up some of them topics. We ain't had no ladies in here last time, so hopefully you and Destiny y'all can make it in here and spice things up a little bit, because we're gonna have some crazy questions. I know Trey said he got some clips for us, so it's gonna be good.
I appreciate everybody for listening and tuning in.
Yeah, thank you. Don't forget to watch the podcast with LA and y'all boy Chout Bout, 7 o'clock tonight. That's every Tuesday and Thursday. I missed last Tuesday, and y'all ended it early. They normally go 2-3 hours. They went like an hour when they was out. So catch y'all next time, man. Love y'all. Peace. We up out of here. Oh, 8 o'clock now. My bad.